go to the gate number 1. If he comes,
ఏ రవి ఇదేనా
పైకి వెళ్ళిపోదాం. Event. Instead, it should turn into a process because we have a long battle to fight in front of us. No, not that side, this side actually, this side. It's a great honor for me to be the General Secretary of Dabmsa. It took me 6 years to become the Secretary of Dabmsa. This speaks volumes of the democratic nature of our organization and the activism that it practices. As any organization of faith by organizing more such programs and continuing with our struggle for equality. Most of the organizations based on marginalized society starts with a grand protest and in sometimes it falls prey to the mainstream romantic idea of power. In front of my eyes, I have seen Dalit organization being prey for it. With all these facts in mind, we wanted to create a platform with a difference where everyone would join us and set a role model. As we are students, our first priority is to educate. Each of us have managed to reach the space of the Central University after immense hardships and long-standing struggles by other members of our communities. It is our responsibility to provide intellectual support, backing to the various social movements that have fought for our empowerment. Since the fact of marginalization is crucial to our existence, we tend to become emotional in our activism. There are hundreds of organizations of each community, but due to lack of access to so-called higher education, quoted, and opportunities, they have not produced enough intellectuals to understand the tactics of the mainstream politics. Since we have the privilege of studying in a university with a long history of struggles, I would say that the role of the present EC is to start our efforts from this university itself. As Ambedkar said, it is our duty to educate, organize and agitate the EFL community. At the same time, let me also quote Sultan Sahib Owaisi, who said, Muslims should stand on their own feet rather than look to the state for help. And this is for all marginalized societies also. This holds true for all marginalized communities. While at one hand, we need to engage with the university structure and the state policies in a constructive manner to bring about empowerment, we also need to organize as a voice worth listening to. DABM, the 4 letters have one thing in common, the oppression. Let these 4 letters not only be common on paper but in spirit. Let us be aware that our enemies are everywhere, they are the same. Our battle is too long, hence we must be prepared for it. We do not and we will not collect donations from administrations, contractors, shop owners or from any other sources. But as a student body, in order to conduct this and more such events, we need some financial help. Shortly, our volunteers will circulate among you with a donation box. Kindly contribute it if you feel that our struggle is worth your support. We want you to extend your support for the students' cause and to make sure the spirit of secularism prevails in campus. And this box will be circulated in some time, okay? But before the program starts. And now I invite Academic Secretary of Dabmsa, Dalit Adivasi Bahujan Minority Students Association, Mohammad Shafiq, to chair the event and conduct the proceedings. Thank you.
Adivasi Bahujan Minority Students Association has taken the seat. Day before yesterday, we had a seminar on Telangana. When we take up all these issues, it is not like, of course, there are political parties in our country which says that, okay, we have 8% Muslims, 3% Adivasi, so okay, 1% from this, 2% from this. It's not that kind of a reservation that is going on in Dabmsa, definitely not. But we believe that the Dalits, the Adivasis, the Bahujans, the minorities of this country have some cause in common. And that cause is to oppose those forces in power which have a very limited version of what it means to be an Indian. They always want to define what is an Indian, and this definition is always exclusionary. Dabmsa supports Telangana because it is a question of self-determination. It is a question of struggle against discrimination. Similarly, Dabmsa will support and will continue its support with all the marginalized sections of this country. All these marginalized sections are an other for what some Puritans claim to be the Indian culture. In Nazi Germany, this Hitler used to give yellow stars to Jews so that they identify themselves as Jews. Now Hitler himself has written what a Jew is like. He is not our race, his nose is like this, his chin is like this, his forehead is like this. Now if all that was right, there is no need to give this yellow star. You look at him and you understand that he is a Jew. But you have to give him an yellow star because actually there's nothing that divides him like that. Indian representational culture had given such an yellow star to the Muslims in the country. You will always wear a topi. If you want to represent a Muslim, you represent him with a topi, as Shahid Amin has showed us. But then we have understood that that is not the case. In a real life situation, a Muslim is just like any other person. But no. The Puritans want to say that there is something different about him. He is not like us. This does not mean that people who wear topi are not like us, but that is how they want to show it. So they give this, in every representation of Muslims, Indian Muslims, they give a topi and say that, see, this is not like what we are like. So it's like, to give an example, This is like